Hey guys, how are you? Thank you for clicking onto this video and thank you so much for watching this video. I just want to say thank you. My last video did quite well. It's been a while since I had those numbers, and I just want to thank you everyone that's been watching. And it prompted me to talk more about the issues I've brought up in the previous video. You know, I'm one person who, like, most of the time I'm just freestyling. Like, I don't write things down and all that stuff. It's just like I download stuff and I start speaking. This is sometimes it surprises me, and I see all these African politicians, and they'll go to like a small village, and they go there and they have a long written speech, and that's how I know it's fake, because they don't even know what you're talking about. Someone had written that speech for them, because even when they can't read properly, it's like they get lost. It's not real. It's not coming from the heart. I think for me, it's just like I get an idea downloaded from somewhere. I don't know if you know about consciousness and all that stuff. I don't know. Sometimes some of us are just plugged onto something, and the ideas just starts coming. The only downside to that is that there's so much you want to say, and you end up missing something. That's the only downside to that. Because as you are talking, another idea pops in, and so today I tried to write stuff down, and it's just not the same flow. So again, I'm just gonna let it read pretty much. The stuff I'm gonna talk about today is, like I said, like, I'm originally from Zambia. I'm not in Zambia right now, but I'm originally from there. And in my travels around the world, I've met different people. I remember meeting some old white guy from the former country of Yugoslavia. For those who don't know, there used to be a country called Yugoslavia, and that's where countries like Czechoslovakia, I think Bosnia, came from. It used to be a pretty big country, and the guy there, the leader, I think was Tito or something like that. And this old white guy goes to me, "Oh, where are you from, young man?" And I said, "Oh, from Zambia." He said, "Oh, Kenneth Kaunda." And he starts talking like really, really, like he respected Kenneth Kaunda. But those who don't know, Kenneth Kaunda was the first Zambian president. And I'll make this video so that like, I'll put up a small video of Zambia becoming independent and him becoming the leader. So we got this guy who ruled the country for like 37 years. But during that time, most of the big things you see in Zambia, it was this guy who did it. I think it was during his tenure that they had the Kariba Dam. It was during his tenure as well that a lot of roads were constructed. Even some of it's actually funny. The roads he constructed have lasted longer than the roads that came after him. The schools, the universities, Zambia helped so many people, so many other countries, especially in the southern region, become independent. We helped Namibia, we helped Zimbabwe, we helped now Mozambique, even Botswana. Like, we were helping everyone. All these people were coming to the Zambian university to come and learn. Today, that university is like, it's nothing. It's a university with such historical importance, especially to Southern Africa, and today it's useless. Sorry, Zambians, but it is what it is. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. That place looks horrible. It's useless. It's absolutely useless. And I'm gonna give you reasons why I'm saying this. So before you get upset, just listen to what I'm saying, right? Then I met another guy, Chinese, old dude again. Oh, Zambia. And he starts talking about Kenneth Kaunda. Oh, Mao Zedong and their relationship, and how they respected the Zambian people. Like, I respected this guy. And they had me thinking, I was like, what's going on here? Because today's president, no one knows him. These guys don't know who the president of Zambia is. And the young people in their countries don't know who the president of Zambia is, because it's not important anymore. At one point, this country was the second copper producer in the world, and at that time, copper was very important. You know, and then my next video, I'm gonna put up a video that I believe every Zambian should watch. It was an interview Kaunda did in his old age with an American journalist, and it's very mind opening. Okay, so during the time Zambia was independent, was became independent, we were thinking for ourselves. Kaunda was thinking for the Kaunda has so many great speeches. There's a speech I saw him where he said he was inspiring. You know, it wasn't. He said, you know, you can. There's a speech where he said something along the lines of, you can keep attacking us, you can keep killing us, but Zambians are resilient people. Our children will be born out of our blood. You don't hear any African president these days, apart from Traore, speaking like that. They've become cowards. They're so scared. They're so scared. They've become cowards. They've become beggars. You know, so from after him, so from that time, we were thinking for ourselves. We knew about, we needed our own university. We needed our own this. We were thinking for ourselves. And the countries that actually helped bring down Zambia are the countries Zambia is friends with today. You know, he went to America once, talking to Jim Carter. Jim Carter was willing to help. The moment Jim Carter left, Ronald Reagan came in. Ronald Reagan didn't want to talk to him. Ronald Reagan even made sure that no one did oil exploration in Zambia, because Kaunda was going around preaching to the people that they needed to let Mandela out. And South Africans don't know this, but I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 2 years America attacks South Africa. That's another video coming, and I'll tell you why I think like that. Because that's what, so Kaunda became this important person in the world. Today, I remember a few years ago when the war in Ukraine started, I think it was Ramaphosa, president of Zambia, and president of somewhere else, they went to Ukraine. They didn't even want them there. But these African presidents, they want to be so important on the world stage that they had to go there. The Ukrainians didn't want them there. They looked like idiots. I didn't see the president of Singapore, which is actually bigger, which is actually a better country, bigger economy, so more important than Zambia. You know, I didn't see them going there. I didn't see them, the president of the Philippines, where they don't care. But for us, we got these leaders who want to impress the Europeans so much that they had to go there. The only leader who brought this up, and he said this next to the Zambian president, is like Kagame. It's like, I don't see the important, but the Zambian president got in his feelings. He came out defending the trip. I'm like, dude, it's ridiculous. I respect the current Zambian president and the previous one, but I'm going to show you step by step how this country is on a path for destruction. So before we were thinking for ourselves, the people who are now so-called friends, they were not our friends back then. Like I told you, Ronald Reagan, you know, they're trying to destroy us. And they made sure that once they discovered the fiber optics, which is weird because it was actually discovered by a Ghanaian, once fiber optics became a thing, we kind of, copper prices came down, you know. And for some weird reason, doesn't mean the world did not need copper. Right now, the world needs copper probably more than it needed it during before fiber optics because of this AI. You know, Zambia has plenty of copper, plenty of copper. The government never put investments in there for us to keep producing more copper so we can be getting more income. We haven't done that. You know, so after Kaunda left, we started getting ruled by puppets. Basically, it's people who now went to beg to the same people that destroyed the Zambian economy, to beg them to help them out. You know, so after Kaunda left, people used to go to church in Zambia, but it wasn't this theocracy thing going on. People were allowed to think for themselves. Kaunda was never a guy who used to go to church and promoting bishops and reverends and all this stuff. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. You know, now we got all these past leaders who if it's the other guy even called Zambia, it's a Christian nation, declared it a Christian nation. And that even made it worse now. Everyone was just worshiping. People stopped thinking, they focus more on worshiping, right? They stopped being, our children will be born out of our blood. That message died. Now the next message was that, to be humble, which last time I looked at humble in the dictionary, it said along the lines of, someone who looks at himself in low frequency. that's what my dictionary said. People who look at themselves in low frequency. So we stopped being those people who are standing up for something and believing in themselves, to just being humble now. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, And I'm going to tell you how crazy this is. Recently, not that long time ago, there's a place I smoke. I can't remember the name exactly. Zambian, please help me out in the comment section. They discovered gold. And, the price of gold right now is very high, very high. And as always, when local Zambians discover gold, first of all, most of them end up in jail. This is how you know our government has been captured. Most of them end up in jail. You're not celebrated if you discover anything, any minerals in Zambia. There's a crystal thing that they discovered in Wapla. Even up to now, the locals have been banned from going near mining these things. And people are starving. So you got now crooks going into this place, ripping off people, pretty much stealing their gold. This particular place is losing $2 million or something like that a day in gold, a day or a week or something like that. And the president left to go and ask for money in Europe for some other stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, if I was a leader there, I'll organize something that can work very, very well, to where you set up a government office, well run, and people who are patriotic, who want to help the country achieve something special, they'll be there and will say, you go and mine the gold. Because sometimes it's just on the surface, and then as that runs out, now you gotta dig it. That's when you can bring in the big guys, big machinery and all that stuff. But at the moment, I'll just say, you dig the gold and the government will buy it off you, but we'll buy it off you at a discount. We'll look up what the price of gold is. If it says it's $3,000 a kilo, we will buy it off you at 30% discount. That paid 30%, negotiable. You can even say 20%. Is tax, but we'll buy it off you. And what we'll do to protect you from all the people who want to steal that gold from you, we are even going to make sure you get the money into your bank account. So you don't have to be running out, coming out of this place. We'll deposit the money straight away, wire transfer it into your bank account, and you can go and withdraw it from your local bank. That way, a lot of indigenous people in that area could have gotten money. You could have allowed up security, bring in more police to make sure security is provided to the people. They are not getting ripped off. But this guy never did that. He left. He went away to beg for money from somewhere else, which was just idiotic in my opinion. But that's the mindset. The mindset of these people is to go somewhere to always be begging, when actually where you are, that's where you got everything. You got the money there. You got gold, you got copper, you got everything going on, but they don't want to do that. Because like I said in my previous video, they've adopted the economic sort of rules that were adapted from during colonial times, when the people during that time, they were trying to do business. They were trying to sort of want Europeans to come in and do business. And that's the same mindset we have. Instead of us, first of all, enriching the local people, that's not the goal. They're not doing that. I just wanted to show that. But then again, so what we have now, after Kaunda left, now we got these people, like these guys, who've now become puppets Although remember, during the independence, all these England, America, they were not trying to help us. You know, they were not really trying to help us. It's countries like, Russia, China, and Cuba that were actually trying to help. Now, all of a sudden, we have these new leaders. For some weird reasons, all of a sudden, the people in England, the people in America have become our best friends. Really? That's not it. And now we have to beg them to give us money. And when they give us money, they tell us what to do. This is how they started destroying now the mindset of Zambians. They introduced something known as the girl child. This was a disaster. The whole thing of a girl child, where they taught the governments there to focus more on educating women. So the same group of people that were trying to promote this stupid thing in a feminism in the Western world, those same guys now showed up in Africa to say, oh, if you want to get money, you got to go and promote the education of the girl child. Now, I'm not against educating women, but what I'm against, because I know it's not going to work, and it's proven not to work, is where you educate the girl child and you leave the boy child behind. What have you just created? Because a girl child is not going to be safe in an environment where the boy child is desperate, aimless, angry and hungry, or depressed, has a weak mind, because you haven't put up settings to help him learn how to survive in life. You haven't done that as a government, because you all focus now, it's the girl child, the girl child. Here's the thing. In our culture, in our real culture, there used to be ceremonies, where when you get a certain age, there's a ceremony, which it's like the rite of passage, where you become a man, and people sit down with you and teach you about things. All that got eroded. All the elders in our community who should be sitting with us as we, especially the boys, as we progress in life, to teach us how to be better men. There was nothing like that. Nothing. So now what you have today, you have people who are weak-minded. You have men in Zambia who are weak-minded. That's why AIDS is rampant, because they can't control their emotions. They can't control their sexual desires. They can't control nothing, because no one has ever taught them that. They have this idea that the more women you sleep with, the better man you become. You've conquered, which is stupid. Because I think you become a better man if you can live long enough to see your kids get married, your daughters get married, your sons get married, they have their grandkids, and you're still there. But what has happened is, we've been told now, oh, it's all about the women. A driver who drives from Zambia to go pick up stuff from South Africa probably has about 10, 20 women along the way. And he's spreading HIV and all sorts of stuff. And then he dies, and all these women have kids. They also die. And what happens? Now they're street kids. That never used to happen in a traditional African setup. But we've abandoned that because we believe that's witchcraft. Common sense has become witchcraft. Common sense that actually works for us. So now we got these kids who are desperate. Men, weak-minded men. And there's proof for this. A few years ago, a bunch of young girls got abducted by young men, put them in some house, and got raped daily. Weak-minded. That's what happens when you focus on the girl child. You gotta educate the man to provide a safe environment for the girl. That's how things work. People can say whatever they want to say. A lot of things when it comes to roads, electricity, moving big machinery, it's been about men. But what happens when you do that? Then you can provide electricity to the woman, so she can live in a peaceful environment, also where she can feel protected. Because that's our goal. Africans have become so weak, and this is not just in Zambia, this is across the globe, across Africa. They've become so weak-minded to a point where they let anyone come to their country. You can have Lebanese, and you can have white people. You can have people from all over the Chinese, even the Chinese. They can come, they go to their country and they abuse their women. And these guys, because they're so weak, man, they just laugh with them. I was listening to Andrew Tate once, and he said they were in some Romania or some country in Eastern Europe. And they got into a fight with Eastern European men because they thought these Andrew Tate, the mixed kids, obviously they'll stand out in a place, they'll probably call them black. These black kids went into this country, they're going to sleep with their women. Even though they were not, yeah, they were probably doing it, but I don't think they had women there. These guys wanted to fight them. You're never going to see Africans doing that to protect their women. Weak-minded. That's why this thing has turned us into, you know, oh, promote the girl child. And these guys will go there because they gave them $10 million to put towards the budget. And they have to focus on spreading this message of ignoring the boy child and protecting the girl child and focusing on educating the girl child. They got it all twisted. That's not to say there are some things in our culture, this is in every culture, that are not good. You know, but you can't just use that as the one thing to destroy everything else. You cannot use one bad thing to destroy even the good stuff. What they call throwing bathwater together with the baby. You can't do that. Okay, we can say, oh, there used to be early marriages. You can ban that stuff. You can ban that stuff, but the best way to do that is to educate the boy child. But these guys didn't do this. And then there was now promotion of religion. Religion now became a thing. Not education, religion. You know, I was in Zambia a few years ago, and we were traveling. I'm originally from Wapula, and we traveled from Copperbelt. We go through Congo, and we go all the way up to the northern part of Wapula. And as I'm driving, looking around, and almost every settlement of people that we came across, there was a church. And sometimes there'll be like 10, 15 churches. Oh, the House of the Jehovah's Witness, Methodist Church, Pentecost Church, Catholic Church, Seventh-day Adventist, in one place. Churches, 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 churches. And I'm thinking to myself, man, it must be raining manna here. No one should be starving because there were so many churches. We had a tire breakdown. Now you get out and you see on the ground. So much poverty. There was kids malnourished. They look like they haven't eaten anything. And then I sat down there asking myself, if Yahweh, who these people worship, is real, why is he letting so many of them live like this? That's the question every African should ask themselves. Why? No excuses. Just give me a good answer, please, in the comments. I had the answer just right then and there. I don't think there's a nation on this planet that's developed by having more churches than industries. I drove almost 600 kilometers. There were no industries, but church after church after church. Even in a place that's meant to be a bigger city, which is Mansa, there's manganese there. They are very good clay. Already you can at least create two industries. You can put up a mining company, first of all, a manganese processing plant, clay, you can put up a pottery factory, and also a brick manufacturing factory. Those are just from the get-go, I can think of those things, those two companies. And they can probably create employment. Directly or indirectly, maybe 1,000 people can have jobs. Because when you have the building blocks like the bricks, people can start building houses for cheaper. when you have something making tiles, making toilet seats, making pots, plates, all sorts of stuff. Someone has to buy those. There'll be a wholesale somewhere. So you can create like 3 tiers in different sections, directly and indirectly. That's what I'm saying. You can create maybe 1,000 jobs just from those 3 things. Brick manufacturing factory, because they have clay. Mining, manganese mining. There's also a crystal, I can't remember the name. That's very expensive, that's there. There's none of that. None of that. It was church after church after church. Maybe I don't know. You gotta tell me the name of a country that has more churches than industries that's developed. Please help me out. I've never seen anything like that. And that's how our mind now has started to be destroyed. Because let me tell you something. I don't care which religion you belong to. I don't care about that. But I want you to think of this. When you believe you can pray and something can be given to you, it weakens your fight. People believe in some of this so much that they even think if they get rich, they're going to hell. So they would rather be starving, because that's the way of the Savior. That's how you're going to enter the kingdom of God. Let that sink in. How are you going to develop? Some of these places, like the land is fertile. 90% of land in Zambia is arable land. It's ready to be harvested and it's virgin land. But people are so concentrated in the cities, living in these so-called shanty compounds, like literally like animals, when actually they can live there. There's able-bodied young men, muscles everywhere. And for some reason, they are so lost living in this city. They are so scared of getting out there, start farming, and start making money. They don't even want to do it. This is how you know. When white people go to Africa, where do you think they go? The first thing they do, they buy a farm. And before we know it, they're millionaires. But everyone else, but all the Zambians can't see it. All the Africans can't see it. They want to live in these, like animals, in shanty compounds, and there's no water there. No water, and people start complaining about it. But even that, they can dig up a borehole. They can't. Because they're praying. They got no time to dig up a borehole. Even though they don't have a job. They can't dig up a borehole because they got to go to church and pray. So maybe they wake up one day and there's a borehole there. Someone has answered their prayer or something. That's what they're hoping for. We're setting ourselves for the death of this country. It was a once promising country and it's dying slowly. And people can say, oh, there's this stuff happening. I'm going to show you comparisons. You go to most of these cities in Zambia. They used to be high energy cities, beaming with life. Today they look depressed. I was in Mufurira. I went over, you got to go through. It's disgusting. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's disgusting. Horrible place. Kitwe, disgusting. The cities, there's no control of traffic. There's nothing. Nothing. It's disgusting. Dust everywhere. Even most parts of Lusaka, when we were at Intercity is this place where it's supposed to be like when people arrive at Intercity, it should be impressive to all the tourists. No. And this is the part you don't understand. On the economic side, cleanliness is a multi-billion-dollar industry. You look up most of the countries in Europe where they get the money from. It's tourism. Rwanda is making now over $1 billion. I think they are even making $2 billion, something like that, from tourism. Whereas back in the day, they only used to make about $100 million. Now they're making billions of dollars from tourism. One thing they changed? They cleaned up the place. cleaned up the place, promoted security. You could leave a bag in the middle of Rwanda, Kigali, and you go there, you go back there and you find it. No one is going to touch it. Because there's the rule of law. Everything is in order in Rwanda. Because they got a president. It's not because Africans can't do it. We can do it. Rwanda is an example. So you are holding your blessings by not, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you were to tell, there's part of the government called ZNS, Zambia National Services. If you were to tell those people to say, okay, we want you, this is the Pharaoh. You know how you have those drainage systems? Most of them are like open. They're not even closed, which is also just a bad thing. You can close those things. Say, we want you to clean it. Every 2 hours, we want you to clean it so it's clean. There's no garbage there. And the water is flowing. If there's rainwater, it just flows like that. That's what we want to keep used to. We don't want stagnant water there, malaria and all this stuff. They will say, no, I can't do that job. They will think, no, they can't because they're bigger. They're bigger, man. They can't do it. But what you just done, by not doing that, you've just lost us $1 million that we could have made from tourists, digital nomads coming to the country and actually contributing to the economy. The dollar will just be flowing in if you cleaned it up. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry waiting to explode, and you guys can't clean up the place. Simple thing to do. Clean it up, get organized. Intercity should be like beaming with energy. Like it should be clean. We should have something where if someone gets there, everything is organized. It's super cool. People can actually sleep there in a safe way. Do you know how many people will be coming there just to see that? And when they come, whoever sells food on the street, clothes on the street, some toys they've made on the street, money is going to flow into their pockets. People don't realize this. That's how you block your blessings. But no, you don't want that. You want to go to church and pray. And that's how we are destroying this place. I think the same way we've now introduced the day of prayer, there should be a day of thinking, where we just say one day, no one goes to work, everyone meet up in community and think, and let's think of something new, how we can improve our communities. Just for one day. Let's share ideas. No, you can't. Because you know why? There's someone there who doesn't want you to think. The CIA have been doing research on Kenyan boys and see how they can control them. Right now, this AI, they're using Kenyan, people over there, making little boys watch porn and all sorts of stuff. And because people are so desperate and depressed, they'll do whatever it takes to keep them busy. And that's how we are destroying this country. Weak-minded politicians who have no brains whatsoever. It doesn't take long to develop. It's not a hard job. They're lying to you when they say, oh, it's hard to develop. No, it's not. When you get a vision and you love your people, it's not hard to develop. Look what's happening in Burkina Faso. The guy is paid off the debt. He's bringing in things. It's a little bit socialistic, but I think that's how you start. And then slowly you start letting people have more control by bringing in capitalism. And I'm not saying it has to be capitalistic entirely. There's no country like that. A combination of both is always good. But I just want you to think about it. That's how this country is dying. People ain't thinking. Things that are important, like investing in education, making sure that the University of Zambia is one of the top universities in the world. People can't even dream of that. It's garbage. And people are going to say, oh, it's like this now. Is it in the top 200 universities in the world? No, it should be, but it's not. Are you guys producing anything? No. You can pay somebody there and get your degree or whatever. Although all these politicians, that's what they do. Oh, doctor, this. Doctor, what did you do? They did some stupid thing in like praying crap. So that they can just become a doctor. Doctor of whatever crap. Think about it, guys. That's how we are destroying our own place. It's not even about the white man, this white man, that. It's because we're not clever enough to realize that this is actually the destruction of us. We're not clever enough. We're so focused on donations and aid instead of saying, okay, we got our own money here. There's people who do, I think, I can't remember the exact name. I think it used to be called the Chilimba when I was younger, where women, especially women, they come together in a group, like 12 women, and they give, this month they give this woman 1,000. And then the next month, there's people who are in multiple groups, some of them like 10 groups, and they're giving each other money every fortnight. Where do you think people are coming money from? They're getting money from. The money is there. The problem is we haven't developed ways to get to the basics and allow these same people to invest in companies of the future where they can actually get interest. Because that so-called chilimba, it's a waste of money. Your money is supposed to make you money. You know, if there's 12 people in a group and you're paying each other, let's say 1,000 kwacha, and at the end of every month you get your 11,000, right? Which means for 11 months, you're going to pay 11,000. And at the end of that, you're just going to get 11,000 back. But there's a better way I can do that. If I was in Zambia, I'll be buying securities every quarter. By the end of the 12 months, my money is going to make me more money. I'll be buying security bonds and I'll have the same discipline as if I'm doing it chilimba. But at the end of the 12 months, I'm going to get almost twice the amount of money I would get from just being in that group. But people don't know this. It's not because they're stupid. It's because no one has ever educated them. Like, no, there's another way you can do this. It's good that you are doing it and it's helping you save money. But if you use that same discipline, there's another way you can make more money. And the more people have money, they become future investors. We won't need anybody from outside, coming to do stuff. The way the world works is, if you focus on yourself, we focus on cleaning up, we focus on teaching the population about honesty, being effective, promote patriotism, hardworking, being resilient, and cleaning up the place. Guess what? People will come. People will come. We won't need to go there to beg anybody. People will come. People want to live there because it's safe. These are all people bringing money. People want to work there because of maybe it's cheaper. Like people are moving to Bali from all over the world. Doesn't mean there's drama going on around the world. Nah, people are just moving there. It's cheaper to live there. And you know what? It's benefiting the local economy. That's how these things work. That's how these things work. But no, we haven't set that up. We are so focused with these leaders. They want to go out there and just get money. And once they get the money, they forget about anything else. It's like we've accepted that this is how things are supposed to be, when it's not how things are supposed to be. The politicians get into these positions who are brainless. They have no ideas. When they get there, they sit down and they just get fat. They become the fat cat. By getting fat, I mean they pump up their wallets because they're brainless. A man like Jeff Bezos is so much better than an African president. And I'll tell you why. Because Jeff Bezos is worked so hard. There are certain things, you got to go to bed at a particular time. You got to wake up at the same time. Sometimes you even got to eat the same time. You got to do the same thing every day. That's not easy. Because they do this. So they are focusing on creating these companies. And he creates a multi-trillion, let's say $1 trillion company, he only owns 16%. The other 84% is just made money for other people. African presidents don't even do that. They get all the money to themselves. All the people around them starve. These guys are pathetic. So think about it. How can we start to change this? The way we start to change this is to realize that just because you go and get your degree does not make you special. What's going to make you special is if you work hard. And farming, I reckon, is the easiest way to get into the business. There's a guy called Farm Up, Ugandan guy. Used to be a doctor. He was making $1,000, I think, a month. today makes probably like $1 million a month. You know what's the difference? You think, oh, doctors get paid more. Some doctors in Africa have to do 2 jobs just to get $2,000. Okay? This guy started a chicken farm. Today, he's got one of the biggest farms in Uganda, and he's selling chicks, selling eggs, and selling chicken for meat. Just the chicks, he's selling 250,000 chicks at $1 each a week. That's $250,000 a week. He used to get paid $1,000 when he was a doctor. So think about that. But you gotta be disciplined, guys. We need to change our views. You know, when you actually establish yourself, women will start coming to you. Boys, if there's teenagers watching this, forget about chasing women, man. Focus on chasing your dream. Don't chase the money. Focus on chasing something that you love, and then the money will flow. And when the money flows and you're doing something that you love, you are happy, you're going to end up attracting the woman who deserves you. But most of you think, oh, you're a conquering hero. Now you are an idiot. I'm a conquering hero. I'm going to sleep with whatever number of women. You're an idiot. You are vibrating at low frequency. You're never going to do anything in this world. And you're just as bad as them presidents. Because you're not contributing anything to your country by thinking like that and doing those things. Anyway, thanks guys, and stay happy, peace and love. Thank you. Goodbye.